looks like there's 1,250 ISDs in Texas for all 254 counties in the great state of Texas, with the city of Houston having one school district, and in contrast, the city of San Antonio having 17. Why is there such a variance between the largest city in Texas having one school district and the city similar, a little lower in population, but having San Antonio has 17? What?
In my opinion, it's abdication of leadership, and this goes back, as I said, back to 1968. Rodriguez sued the San Antonio Independent School District under the cause of action that there was wealth discrimination taking place. He took it all the way to the Supreme Court in 1973. In the dissenting opinion, Thurgood Marshall essentially said, I don't agree that though the Constitution of the federal government under the 14th Amendment doesn't protect the right to an education, that we should ignore the fact that there is wealth discrimination going on. But nonetheless, it was kicked back down to the states, and the states then took it up with the Edgewood versus state of Texas case. It's been made famous by the Band-Aid of the recapture tax, the alleged Robin Hood system of taking from the wealthy school districts and giving to the poor. But in answer specifically to your question, at that opportunity, really what should have been considered then and should definitely be considered now is why are we still having this 1,250 school districts? You mentioned Bexar County. We're the poster child. We have the history of wealth discrimination. Both sides run on the basis of protecting local control versus proliferating corruption. They don't say they proliferate corruption, but I think it's corrupt that we have 17 school districts and we only have 10 state representatives. Now, in response to saying we have too many, then the defense usually from legislators is, well, we have too few in Houston. And I agree. And Governor Abbott's on record and many other elected officials on record that represent that county, that public school system is failing in its outcome to produce an adequate academic result. And no one is asking, why is that not broken up? If local control is the mantra in Bexar County, where we have 17 school districts when we perhaps should only have 10, and that 10 should be equivalent to the gerrymandering that went on to create an allocation of population evenly divided among 10 state representatives, then why don't we have the same standard or protocol in Houston? And perhaps instead of pointing at Houston and saying y'all are not producing an outcome because you don't have sufficient administration, and then looking at Bexar County and saying, well, we'll just look the other way. It's always been this way, and we're going to go around and visit all these different school districts. When is the leadership of the state going to say enough is enough? We don't need this many school districts, and we are responsible for funding education primarily, not indirectly through a property tax at the school board level that I might echo is exaggerated because the values that are beefed up because of property value studies that are brought upon us by the state comptroller.